Coy Evans, he's going to fight a rematch against Jason Rory, and what you fought a draw, it'll be to settle that one blemish on his record, and he wants to change that. But first, I'd like to start with the top, start right from the bottom of the card and work my way up. Opening the show is going to be Philly Junior Middleweight Tyrone Crawley. If bloodlines have to do with it, do it being a great boxer, he surely has one, as he's related to Tyrone Crawley, former world lightweight challenger. His opponent on Friday night will be Coy White. Coy White of Ohio enters the ring with a record of 1-2, with his one victory coming by way of knockout. Next up will be the Philly debut of three-time PA Golden Gloves champion and national quarterfinalist Josh Bowles, who's 1-0 out of Harrisburg, PA. The undefeated super bantamweight is a barber by trade, but plans no close shaves in the ring. Entering the arena, he will be 1-0. He will challenge Cyprian Kamalo, who is 0-1 in a 4-round contest. I'd like to bring up Mr. Payton, who is his manager since he's in Harrisburg, since he's training in Harrisburg and will not be able to make it for the night's press conference. Thanks. Would you like to say something?
Yeah, just real quick. Josh is real excited to be coming to the city. I know he's from Harrisburg, only a couple miles west, but he's real excited because he wants to make this his place to go to once he gets up to those big times looking for a belt. I know Coy Evans is on this card. Josh is going to be watching that fighter very closely. It's a potential matchup down the road, so we're looking forward to it. Looking forward to the fight. Hope you guys enjoy it. That's about it. Oh, September 24th, we're having a fight in Harrisburg at that little club. So.
Any questions? You got a question?
1-0. 0.
Very good fighter. I saw him twice many times.
He's 1-0 with 2 knockouts.
It'll be 2 on Saturday. It'll be 2 on Saturday.
Yes, he will. I know he had to start.
Well, Cyclone Hart got knocked out twice in one fight.
Next up is a 4-round contest featuring Georgy the Chemist Gorolnik. 1-0 from the Ukraine, actually living now in Philadelphia. He earned his degree in chemistry. He's a dedicated family man. Georgie will tell you a little bit about. He's brought your mother over, and he's also bringing his wife's mother over, who's from Vietnam. So he's working away to get some money to take care of that.
Bringing the mother-in-law over. You're a gutsy guy.
Yeah, he's Friday night though. Only boxing will be on his mind when he steps in the ring with Washington D.C.'s Damian Richardson. Georgie's trained by what they call the Dream Team of Tim Witherspoon, Steve Witherspoon, and Robert Bam Bam Hines. Robert Bam Bam Hines is right here, former champ, right there. So everybody give him a hand. And they've got Gorolnik primed and ready for probably one of his biggest fights so far as a pro. I'd like to introduce Georgy Gorolnik.
Make sure you drop the fighter like you just dropped that paper, okay?
I will, yeah. So I've been training at shoulders, been sparring, Yusuf Mag, Clinton, I've been sparring Garrett, So I'm ready for the fight, so come and enjoy. I'll show everything I can. Come and enjoy.
We almost go.
Any questions for Georgie for the press?
Georgie, how many amateur fights did you have about?
As boxing wise, I think like 11.
What, were you a kickboxer or something?
Yeah, I was a kickboxer.
Oh, okay.
I've been kickboxing since 6 years old.
When did you come over?
I came over in 2000.
How old were you?
I was 16 years old.
16, okay.
Yeah, I was 16 years old.
I know the Klitschko's had a background with
they were kickboxers. Older ones were kickboxers.
It's good. I look forward to seeing it.
George.
He did good.
Oh, that's good.
He had a first round knockout.
Just got to speak up for a second, everybody.
Ringside too.
Yeah.
It is similar.
He was semi-finals there. He had a first fight, he got a knockout. And then he lost on points in the second fight.
Good.
George?
George, I saw you a couple weeks ago over at Schuler's gym, working with Rob and Steve. What type of things have you been working on since your first professional fight at the Army?
Be more patient, set up the combinations, just don't rush,
Did you have a problem holding back on Steve? Or?
You can say that, you know. So hopefully I'll be more patient and I'll get my job done fast.
Good. It's good.
George, I wanted to ask you about, you were a kickboxer, amateur?
Yeah, amateur.
Not pro.
Not pro.
Say something, tell us something about the discipline changing over from being a kickboxer to being
it's different because the distance aspect is different because in kickboxing you work on a longer distance because you have to kick and you don't use hands as much, you have like legs, so you set up your opponent differently. So it was a while until I got comfortable with boxing, you know, with setting up the part, you know, setting your opponent up with punches, throwing. The footwork is different too, but since I have a fighting experience from kickboxing, which I can use.
What gym are you at? Shoulders?
Shoulders, yeah. I've been in the Shoulders gym for almost 2 years. I've been in Shoulders gym for almost 2 years.
That's good. And you made the move out of the other gym.
George?
We won't mention it.
George, you graduated from Drexel with a chemical engineering degree?
Chemist.
So you're actually a chemist, right?
I'm actually a chemist.
Okay. Who gave you the name the chemist?
My coach, Steve.
Okay, any other questions? Thank you very much, George. Okay.
Very good.
Say thank you to Renee as the matchmaker. She's been taking good care of
It's good.
matchmaking.
Thank you, George. This card actually has a big heavyweight flavor. Next up, we're going to have another heavyweight, John the Breed Lennox, 5-0 with 2 knockouts in a 4-round contest against Virginian Antonio Robertson. Lennox is the type of fighter that everyone wants to see. He lets it all go in the ring. One of his things is his defense is his offense. So he's always in an exciting fight, no matter who you put in front of him. Look for one entertaining fight in that contest. In a special 4-round heavyweight contest, we have Latin knockout artist Jose Luis Roque, 3-0 with 3 knockouts, making his way all the way up from Miami, Florida. He stands at 6'4", weighs in at 250 pounds. He's a mixture of raw power and speed, which could make him a bright future in the heavyweight division where he can fight anybody from up to the 6'8"ers, 7'footers to the guys that are 5'9", 5'10". He's perfect. He's right in the middle. He's managed by myself and Manny Rivera of Mac Boxing, and we really think he's going to be a big fighter. Renee gave us, I think it was like 4 or 5 opponents. We chose the best out of the opponents to fight. We asked for, he actually listed the opponents himself and wanted the best one. We ended up getting Canadian Tapo Asangwe. He's 2-7 with 7 draws. And as most people in the boxing game know, if you are 2-7 and you have 7 draws, you've probably fought a lot of hometown fighters, hometowns, and got hometown decisions on those draws, and they could easily have been wins, where then he's almost at a 500. So Tapo Asangwe has never been stopped. So it's really going to be a hard fight, and Jose actually says he fights like a young George Foreman, and he's coming for a knockout. So it really will be a good contest. So
he's Nicaraguan, right?
Yes, he is.
That's okay.
And but he moved here at an early age, and he trains. His trainer has a very good bloodline. They're very close with Yurioka Gamboa. He sparred with a heavyweight out there who I think is 11 or 12-0.
Yeah, 12-0.
12-0. So, and he held his own. So he's ready. And he's had a 2-year layoff. He had his kid, and now he feels everything's right in his life, and he just wants to show Philadelphia what Miami, Florida already knows about his knockout power. So we move on to our next bout. Next up is a 6-round contest featuring Ardrick the Hitman Butler, 6-4, 3 KOs, who looks to continue his comeback with a victory as he squares off against Oxford, North Carolina's William Wilson, 8-7, 4 KOs. Butler's a former European professional basketball player, He was last seen pummeling away at Mike Demby over at this very same arena before scoring an impressive 6-round stoppage. You can see the confidence and power in Butler resurging as the fight progressed. Now that he's back on the right track, Gartley plans to build on that victory, and he steps up his opponent with William Wilson, who has won 3 of his last 4 bouts. So again, that should be another big contest. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce Ardrick the Hitman Butler. Stand up and speak loud because they can't hear you in the back.
This fight right here has been a long way coming for me. I've been through a lot this whole course through this fight. One of my best homies that got killed, and it's been very tragic for me to handle. But you know, I've been fighting for it, finding the strength to find within myself to move on and continue to fight. And every day I just look up to him as the strength and the courage to keep on doing what I'm doing. And life is short, and for me to be able to fight every day is a blessing. And to be able to do what I love and support my family and be able to stay on this earth is a blessing. So every fight is just, you're going to see something different every time. I'm 100% every time. It's never going to be a time where I'm going to take off. So that's in the past. So I'm just a whole new person. Now I look on life a whole another way.
It's going to be a 6-round contest. One of the great things, we have both fighters here. We have one undefeated welterweight, Juan the Beast Rodriguez, out of Union City, New Jersey, and Philly's own Greg Hackett right here. Rodriguez has made a name for himself as a regular on the KEA Boxing shows. He's again 6-0, 3 knockouts. He also owns an explosive knockout over Mike Demby too, and he will be taking on Greg Hackett. Greg has a very deceptive record. He has been the victim of several controversial decisions, who I've seen a lot of, and he's taken many fights on short notice. Having over 5 weeks to train, expect the best to come from Hackett, who's primed and ready to and expects to put the first loss on Rodriguez's record. Without further ado, first I'd like to bring up Greg Hackett. Greg, any questions? Go ahead.
Greg,
What
what
do
do you train out of? What do you train out of?
Fast lane boxing, 54 from Jefferson.
Okay. You a trainer?
Lamar Smith.
Okay, good.
And Greg, what are your thoughts on the fight?
To be honest, I'm still trying to figure out why they promote him, you know what I mean? Because he's not exciting to me. When I watched him fight, it was nothing special. I can understand the knockouts, because if I was getting those same type of guys, I'd knock them out too, you know what I mean? So, the beast, though.
You know if he's a southpaw or not?
He is southpaw.
Just want to make sure you get the right guy.
It's not going to matter. And then it's like, I don't know. This wasn't nothing special about him. He can fight, I guess, you know what I mean? You bring a guy in shape, you give him the duck, you know, do what he did to him. But the difference is, like Kurt said, I had more than 5 weeks to get ready, so I guess they was,
which is unusual.
Very unusual. So it was kind of like they setting them up, you know what I mean? I guess they getting tired. So.
What's it gonna be like finally fighting at your natural weight?
You know what? I can't even remember because it's been 6 years since I've been around 147. So I guess it would be like a dream, you know, something like that.
Well, what do you hint you want to give further?
George.
Down the way.
George.
Greg, having followed you from the amateur, right? I have to say, you have to be one of the most frustrating fighter for a reporter, because we see the talent, and I've seen you just give decisions away, waving at the judges, blowing kisses at babies, doing everything, even taking your trunks off in the middle of the ring in Atlantic City, in New Jersey, then argue with the commissioner.
But that was about my money. That was something different.
Let me reiterate on that from a matchmaking standpoint. Since I've been matchmaking, especially in Philadelphia, Greg has always gotten the short end of the stick, so to speak, with always getting a last minute fight. I see a lot of potential here. I see a lot of potential here. And I felt, as a matchmaker, putting the two together, it's a step up for him, for Juan. And Juan needs that to show that, you know, well, I have been doing this, and now this is what I'm going to do here. And for Greg, it's an opportunity for him as a fighter to show exactly what kind of fighter he is. So it's to me, a perfect match. He always gets last-minute fights. You call Greg, and Greg is there. He does not care. He's there. I wanted to see what was going to happen in the arena when he had time to prepare, as a fighter should get the time to prepare.
And Renee, somewhat I agree. I've been following this guy since amateur. He'll come down to the gym and box everybody from welterweight to light heavyweight, run circles around them or box them. But the question I'm asking, how serious are you this time?
I'm always serious. It's just that you get put in situations where, you know, like coming back out for 2 years after they were saying I had a heart murmur, which wasn't true. I went up to Pittsburgh after 6 weeks to drop 40 pounds in 6 weeks, and then I get up there and the guy's 6'3". And we got 12 minutes to go to war. It's going to take more than 12 minutes for me to even get close to him. You see what I'm saying? Those type of situations, I'm always serious. And then like the fight where you told me you got a little mad at me with Judah, which I understood, but he was an awkward fighter. You know what I mean? And him being a bit taller than me, it was kind of hard to deal with. I felt as though I won, but you know, things went the way they went. But this time we're more, you know, more the time I actually think about it. I guess I am more serious, you know what I mean? And I took what you said to me after that fight into consideration. I went to New York, gave Danielle Livingston hell for 6 rounds, and they called a low blow, took a point away from me, gave him a fight. So it's like, you know.
Did you ever consider having this fella here in your corner? He's
I thought about it.
Second now.
I thought about it.
He hasn't won. None of the fighters have won with him in the corner, but you know, you might know.
That's not true. I've only been in one corner.
What's your weight?
For this fight is going to be one. You mean now or for the fight?
Jack
for the fight?
147?
147.
147?
Yeah. Right.
Is that a welterweight Jack wants to know?
All right. Any yeah, Garrett Wilson.
Yes, I have a question. Who's the sparring you had to prepare for this fight?
As of recently, Hank Lundy, Philip McCants, man, and anybody, you can name anybody. You know, I'll get some sparring after this if y'all want, you know, anybody else. Just how I put it.
Hello, go ahead.
Did Hank Lundy give you a bit of a workout?
Of course. He's a world-class fighter, he's supposed to.
Any other questions? Thanks, Greg. And also, we have the undefeated Juan the Beast Rodriguez. Anything to say?
I don't really know much about him. I give it 100% every time I come. I have 3 fights in Philly already. I show them I'm a brawler, boxer, and counter-puncher. I have hand speed.
No defense.
I train 100%.
So what happened to defense? Or what happened to defense?
Well, you had your chance. Anyway.
I'm sorry. I just had to put it in. He was missing one.
You're expecting this guy to give it to you. You might have What's your amateur background?
My amateur background, I was as high as rankings #3 in the country. So we don't know much where East standpoint is at, but I come 100%, fight, I give it all. Come Friday, you'll see it all.
Good. Who's in your corner? Who's your trainer?
My trainer is Joe Biden. Union City 30.
Where do you train out of? What gym up there?
Union City Boxing Club.
You're a natural southpaw?
Natural southpaw.
How'd you get the nickname The Beast? Was you a nice guy or?
The Beast is something when I'm in the ring, I let it all out.
You're an action-packed guy, so it'll be interesting. It should be a good match.
George? One, why Greg Hackett? Because for me, if I had to fight, that's the last guy I would
don't care who I fight. It's pretty much the matchmaker, my manager. They trust me and who they put me with. It's just another victory in my eyes.
Can't be another who have you sparred with to prepare for Greg?
I spar with all top pros. With Glenn Tapia, a whole bunch of people. All undefeated fighters.
Good fighter. Undefeated spar, huh?
Any questions? George?
Juan, I've been at your fights at the arena, and I look at some of the things that every fighter can improve. But one thing I notice in your corner, I always sit close to your corner. I don't care if you step backwards or spin around, your coaches always say wonderful. There's never any criticism in the corner. I've sat there, everything you do they say, you're doing well, you're doing great. And I'm saying, is that planned or is that a motivational factor, or they can't be critical of you during the fight?
Yeah, I think pretty much the motivation part of keep it going.
That's your motivator?
You know what would be nice this time? If we can get some face-to-face photos. These two, since they're both here, along with Andre in the front. Get the promoter in there. You guys come up.
Can you still move on?
For your photographers.
Right.
Andre, you want to, last time this happened, him and Judah were pushing each other.
No, I don't got to push him. Somebody else.
I saw it on YouTube.
He's a gentleman.
Who, me?
Yeah, we talked. We're talking. All right.
I'm going to be the dentist this time. I'm take care of the rest of this team.
You do what you got to stand to. All right, any other pictures, guys? You all right?
That's good.
Oh, wait, just these two, right?
Just the two, yeah.
Stand down. Anyway, stand down.
That's not everything he wants.
That's the one he wants. We need that bitch. Stand down.
This people for it. And they put you in a 6th round or 2. So you can get drunk one time. Yup. They want to see how deep you can go. Yup.
All right, guys. All right, guys. Jason Rory comes in with a record of 6-12-2, 3 KOs. In their last fight 4 years ago, Rory put the only blemish on the undefeated Philadelphia's record with a highly disputed draw. Now Evans feels it's time to settle the score and write that disputed decision. Rory will not back down either. Rory has his deceptive record, having fought several up-and-coming prospects and in their own front yards. Normally leaves you with several controversial decisions, including one in Maryland where I personally saw where he fought Thomas K.O. Snow, and I actually had him winning the fight, and several others did. But the judges saw it differently and gave him a disputed decision to Thomas Snow. So without further ado, I'd like to bring up our main event fighter, Philadelphia's own, Coy Evans. Speak up. What would you like to say to people here at your press and your fans?
First of all, thank you for coming out to Champs. Thanks to Champs for letting the press conference. Just, Friday night you come and see a good fight, I guess. I know he's coming. When I fought him the first time, I actually beat him every round then. So, but I just like to beat him worse every round now. So, we'll see on Friday.
I got a question.